Mic check, mic check, mic check. One Masters Podcast, your host, man, of course. First and foremost, I want to thank all the supporters, listeners, followers who share the podcast, support the podcast, comment on the podcast, whether it's word of mouth, social media. Any type of support is always accepted and always definitely genuinely appreciated. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing day in, day out, week in, week out. Y'all show me that y'all support the movement and the direction that One Masters is going into, all that has been through. The immense amount of support is crazy. I can't take it for granted, and I would never do that. Without my supporters and without my support, I wouldn't even be doing what I'm doing as consistent as I'm doing it. So definitely, I want to say it's a team effort. I come here and I do what I do, but you guys show me every week, every time I put an episode out, with this amount of support y'all give me, whether it's commenting on Facebook, commenting on YouTube, Twitter, messaging, emailing, whatever, whether it's in the city, outside the city, in the country, outside the country. You guys always tend to let me know, hey, keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, push me to keep doing what I'm doing. So I want to first start off with that as always, but that was a little bit more geared towards what I'm going to talk about in this episode. By the way, real quick, before I start, man, got a new microphone. If y'all can tell, this is like a nice little microphone here. I got two of them. The last episode I just put out, which was with my good friend Antonio Daniels, young cat, very 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 driven. Mind is focused. To be that young and be that driven, it's gonna be a bad boy. If he continues to be as driven as he is, oh, he's gonna be a bad boy. To be that young though and have that mindset and have that position that he's holding where he's at and doing what he's doing in life right now, I can't do nothing but commend that young man. So when they say, black men are doing this or doing that, think about Antonio Daniels, and he's doing a great job. But we had a management conversation. I called the podcast a management conversation. He was somebody who I hired, my first ever hire as a assistant manager, salary member management. And I left a location and went to a different location as a promotion, you could say. And he ended up taking my position. So not taking, but earning my position in interview and everything like that. So I wanted to have that conversation with him being that young, and just pick his brain on, some of the challenges he had, and have that conversation, not manager to manager per se, but man to man as managers. So that was dope to have. If you're interested in that, go check that out. That's more so for him. My goal with that is just to, in a year or so, you know what I'm saying, let time go by, and then have a different conversation with him again, just to see that growth and have him know what you stood on before, where you was at before versus where you at now, and whether he grew, didn't grow. I think that's a good tool to use, especially being that young. I want him to remember everything he's saying and everything he's standing for right now. So shout out to him for that. Then I also had Ariel Miller. She's a business owner, of course. That was a dope episode. Like, it was my business brand. I'm just trying to brand businesses that's doing good things out here. I'm trying to support, not based off popularity and nothing like that, just based off what I see. That's how I always support. And if somebody happens to become popular in the process, I won't hold it to them. I won't hold it against them, and I won't write them off as being popular just to as a way to throw out any work that they put in to get where they at. Keep that in mind as I talk. Okay. I'm gonna get all the other stuff out the way. I'm getting into the shit soon. I also want to say this, man. Also, I know my last thing I was talking about other things and comedians, beef, and this and third. And look, man, I personally feel like the city is at its best when we all are a camaraderie. We all link together. We all are on the same page. We all pushing each other forward, whether it's in a positive competitive way. I think that's when we're at our best. So wanting to be better than the next person is always great, but also knowing that you don't have to tear the next person down to do that is even better. And I think the city as a whole, if we move that way, we will be where we need to be at no time. Because this city's immensely talented. I'm always gonna say that this city's immensely talented. Okay. Sorry. Last couple episodes I had a lot of grease in my face. I felt like, I don't know, might be the light. I don't know. I don't be editing too much, you know what I'm saying? Not too much on me. Hey, man, clap it for me real quick. Hold on, man. Give me hype, man. Give me hype. I'm about to go in. All right. Chill out. But yeah, man. Also, I went to I went to a comedy show. This is why I also thought about the thing I'm talking. I went to a comedy show. We had a great time at the comedy show. I thought that you always think you can do comedy, because you're funny. I'm in my own environment, mind you. This is edit. If I mess up, I can edit that out. I got the lights on me. It's crunch time right now for me. This is my crunch time, right? I could sit here and be funny to you guys. I could sit here and make you laugh. That don't mean I could be a comedian. And I saw that because you hear a lot about this comedian's okay, this comedian kind of trash, and it was some great comedians on there. I want to say it was a guy named Skylar, a woman named Skylar, Desmond something, and EJ Mack from Augusta. I'll do a separate kind of talk on what I thought about the show per se. But what I say about comedians is, it sounds easy to get up there and tell jokes, but to be as consistent, to trying to have to read the crowd and also swing which way the crowd is going, it seems to be way harder than I thought it might have been. So I think I'm funny. I don't know if I ever could be a comedian, because I don't know if I can go up there and really take the crowd not necessarily taking to you. And I worked on that joke for months and months and months, or I mess a joke up and now it don't hit the same, and I have to still keep the show going, because mind you, my next follow-up jokes are all contenders on that one joke hitting, and if it don't hit and I got to do the rest, it's like So shout out to all comedians, man. I've gained a great deal of respect for you guys. Up until then, my only comedian show that I've been at was Kevin Hart, who's a top professional. So I didn't see bombing. I didn't see messing up. I didn't see a joke not hitting. I didn't see a good setup with a terrible punchline, or a good punchline, horrible setup. But now seeing that and being able to be in that environment where people aren't laughing or aren't interested, or are laughing or are interested, in seeing the whys and why nots, and actually breaking that down in the room, me being in media, breaking that down in the room, but also trying to enjoy the show. I thought that the comedians did a great job. So I'll have that separately. Let me gather my thoughts, have my week I'm gonna have, and I'll come back on here and talk about that the right way. But shout out to Augusta for having that event. A lot of events in Augusta this week. So shout out to Augusta. That golf tournament is in town. I can't think of the name of it right now, but that golf tournament is in town. So a lot is going on in the city. So this would be a great week to network, to brand, rebrand yourself, brand yourself, get your merch out, sell merchandise, up the price, because they got the bread for it. You know what I'm saying? They got the bread for it. So yeah. And I think I'm gonna conclude there, because I want to get into. I don't want to waste no time, because I don't want anybody to be watching this and be like, "Oh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?" And I want to break this down into totality. Let me sit back a little bit. Let me crack my back. Let me get right. All right. So there's a post been floating around. It always floats around every year, and it's normally when someone feels. Posts like these only float around when people feel defeated in something they're trying, or even haven't tried it, and have an insecurity in something they want to try, and feel like they won't get a certain amount of support that they for some reason think they need in order to be successful at what they're trying to do, that they didn't even start to do yet. Stay with me, okay? So I've had numerous, when I say numerous, I mean numerous, a lot, conversations about this topic. I'm not gonna lie, it does make my ass itch a little bit, right? And I'm joking when I say that, you know what I'm saying? Clap it for me. I'm just joking. Stop. It does make my ass itch a little bit. Only because you get tired of having the same conversation over and over and over again. But that just tells you how much things repeat itself throughout the years, throughout the months, throughout the days, throughout the weeks. The post is this. It comes to the effect of, Augusta only supports popularity, not talent. Okay. I've had podcasts about this. I've been on Main and Slim about this. I've been on Slim podcast about this. I've had my own little segments about this. I never really sat down. If I have, maybe it didn't. I don't know. Maybe I didn't want to do it again. I don't know. But it bothers me every time it's brought up, because And I'm gonna break it down, but it bothers me every time it's brought up because it's a slap in the face to anybody that's putting in work and that's getting a great amount of support, but they know the work that they put in. That person knows that they put in a massive amount of work to get the little support that somebody that isn't getting any support thinks that person is getting a tremendous amount of support, a crazy amount of support. And they put a lot of work in just to get that little bit that they got. They know it's more out there, but they okay with that little bit that they have, and they're gonna cherish it. I'll use me throughout the whole episode if I have to, because I don't want to put anybody else's name in there if I don't have to, right? So I want to get into it then. So I want to first talk about what popularity is. Let's talk about popularity and what it is. So what does it mean to be popular? What are your requirements of one identifying or being identified as popular, right? So I guess a lot of people knowing you or knowing of you, right? And honestly, after that, I don't know what else. Maybe things you're known for. If you play sports, if you you're a bad kid. Maybe you're in the streets a lot. Maybe you did something. You got a famous fight you had, or a famous crime you did, or the things that you're known for. So being known, how many people you're known by, and maybe what you're known for, right? Let's say that would determine whether a person's popular or not, or maybe being linked to people of that. You could be popular by association. I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't consider myself to be popular, but you let the right person tell it, they'll say that that's the case. Maybe I have a separate segment where I'll call a bunch of people and we'll determine what popular really means. But for now, we're going to do it the main way. By the way, I was just informed today that the main way has been nominated, and I've been nominated, for Best Actor. So clap it up for me, man. Best Actor, clap it up for me, clap it up for me. You know what I'm saying? I put a lot of work in. When I wanted to do Main Way Season 2. So I ain't popular, just put some work in. But let's get to it, right? So that would determine popularity, right? So popularity, how many people know you or know of you, and what you're popular for, what you know for being popular for. Cool. Maybe being out and about, maybe being seen, being known, you know what I'm saying? People knowing your name. I wouldn't consider myself to be popular. People think my name is Bobby. That's not my name. That ain't my name. If you know my name, you can put it in the comments, whether it's YouTube, whatever, or Facebook, and or whatever I put this on, and spell it correctly. My name ain't Bobby. That's my Facebook name. My name is not Bobby. Somebody that doesn't know that would see me out in public and call me Bobby. That's not being popular. That's just somebody knowing you from Facebook and thinking that's your name because it's a common name to have, right? But more so in defining popularity, F all that. More so, what all does popularity bring you? And it really brings nothing. People know you, some notoriety. It brings you some sort of portal where people just know who you are or about you. They might know who you are because somebody might say, "Oh, you're Jermaine. You're Don brother. Oh, you're Jermaine. You're Brooks' dad. Oh, you're Jermaine. You do podcasts. Oh, you're Jermaine. You work at such and such," right? And those all can be true, but that's just not who I am. But F all that. That's just me defining popularity. I want to get that out the way first. To just tell you, popularity means nothing. Popularity means nothing at all. Trust me. It's a good thing to be if you care for that, but it means nothing at all. But I want to get into why people say that. But the popularity part, also it's tough to be popular. To be popular is tough because to be popular now, you have to maintain an image. Whatever you're known for, whatever, and how many people know you, you got to really maintain that. If you're popular for being funny, you got to be funny all the time. If you're popular for beating people up, you can't lose a fight. You can't lose a fight. If you're popular for these things, then it's certain things in categories or stuff that you may possess, you have to keep possessing. You have to keep showing up. So when people say, Augusta supports popularity, not talent, if that's true, let's say that is true. Let's just say it for shits and giggles. It's not. But let's say for shits and giggles, it's true. That still in itself is a job anyway. To be popular And to have to maintain that popularity means that if you decide you want to grow up the next day or have some kind of growth in, you're not fighting no more. You're not doing this no more, but you're popular for that. How many people are going to ride with you to your next stage of life or whatever you're doing next? Because you're popular for this already. I'm just going to base off the saying. I don't believe in this stuff. I'm just going to break down the saying because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of that being the narrative. I'm tired of people talking about it. And what I'm really tired of is what that means when people say it. That's what I'm really tired of. I'm not tired of the saying per se. It's just when I see people say it, and the people that's saying it, it's always somebody that's weak. And I'm no disrespect to nobody. I'm not disrespecting nobody at all. It's just always somebody that's either weak or that's don't want to work. Just don't want to work. I got some. So I started a podcast saying this is new microphone, right? New microphone is also a new system right here. A lot of money. I'm not throwing numbers out to say I'm well off or I'm better than somebody. I'm just throwing numbers out to tell you to paint a picture. So I'm not doing this to shit on nobody. I'm not doing this to big myself up or say I got it. I'm not doing that because I don't. I'm broke. I'm popular. I'm not popular and I'm broke. Unpopular and broke. That's me. I'm the spokesperson. I'm the post boy for unpopular and broke. It's me. I ain't got it. The system, the mics, if I take in the laptop, so I'm gonna say 2,000, I'll say 1,000 mics, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700, all the mics I got. So you're looking at, 2, 3, looking like 4,000, the camera, 4.5. You're looking at maybe $5,000 worth of equipment, over the years, especially in the last year, some change, over the years of something that I dedicate my time, my spare time, my free time. I dedicate a lot to podcasting, a lot to this art form that is now blossoming to something different. I dedicate a lot of time and money. I invest a lot of money into myself, into something I believe in, something that I'm consistent in, right? I never want to hear anybody ever try to take what I've invested, take what I've dedicated so much time into being better and better and better week in, week out. I never want somebody to take my dedication and my investment into myself and my craft from me by categorizing me as popular and then saying that's why I get the support I get. That's the quickest way to spitting in my face without spitting in my face. That's beyond disrespectful. When somebody spends that amount or invests that amount of money in themselves, into their dedication, and dedicates thousands and thousands, I probably dedicated more hours than I've dedicated dollars into what I'm believing in or what I'm dedicated to, what I'm spending my time on, what I'm building my craft on. So I'm gonna always take that disrespect. There's no way I'm not. Even if you're not talking about me, that's just the saying alone is disrespectful to me. Just the saying alone. That's it. Let me take a sip of this, man. Tastes well. So you got a lot of people in the city, right? So Augusta is a small city, but it's a lot of talented people doing a lot of talented things. There's a lot of not so talented people doing a lot of things as well. And there's a lot of people that are talented not doing a damn thing as well. It's a lot of mixtures. That's a lot in that pot. That pot of Augusta, it's a lot in that Augusta pot going on. A lot going on, a lot of nothing going on. When somebody says Augusta only supports popularity and not talent, I naturally think that person is someone who isn't doing enough and also is looking for an excuse as to why they aren't succeeding in whatever world they in. Because they may be succeeding, but now they want to succeed. But I want to stop there. I want to say something. So I'm going to talk about me in my line of work. Because I don't know, when people say this stuff, I don't know if they're talking about just rap. I don't know if they're talking about like event planning, they're talking about clubs, or you doing music, or you selling hair, or you doing lashes, or you doing nails, or you selling shirts, you selling merch. I don't know exactly what field this applies to. So I'm gonna apply to art. When I say art, I'm thinking anything artistic. If you make shirts, if you got logos, if you got a business, if you do podcasts and you sing, you rap, you dance, you tap dance, you twerk, you strip, got an OnlyFans. I don't care. I'm calling all that art at this point. Content art at this point, right? So all that's falling under the umbrella I'm talking about here. And I've seen plenty of people get support that aren't popular. What happens is people that are popular, no. People that aren't popular start to build their following. They start to be consistent. They dedicate time into their craft. They go above and beyond, which the opposite of going above and beyond is bare minimum. I want to play a thing real quick.
Stop doing the bare minimum and expecting that to yield results.
I didn't mean for it to be that loud. I promise you. I'm sorry. Let's try one more time.
Stop doing the bare minimum.
Here we go.
And expecting that to yield results.
I got a few things I'm playing that, but that one, that's what I think. When somebody tells me Augusta only supports popularity and not talent, I instantly get a light bulb in my head and say, this person does this.
Stop doing the bare minimum and expecting that to yield results.
Only because that is one of the weakest statements you can ever say, because that screams insecurity, for one. And if you're not insecure and you feel like you're doing enough, you're probably not doing enough, so you need to do more. But I'm happy I work in a line I work in, the line of work I'm in. I'm happy that I'm in that work, because we got a thing where it's like no excuses. If it rains, where you getting the sales from now? So you always have to think of another way to get ahead, to succeed, to win. When you start making statements like that, you sound like a loser. That's just me. That's just me. I'm gonna always say that. I don't care who you are. I don't care. And if you do believe it, and don't take none of this personal, because if you believe in it and you got your own points, stick with that, and that's fine. Because these are just my opinion. I should have started with that, but these are just my opinions. I don't know who else agrees with me, who don't agree with me. I don't know. Don't really care. We can all have difference of opinion and be respectful. But in my opinion, these are weak statements. This is something that people say when they have tried something, they have failed, but they probably did bare minimum amount of work, bare minimum approach, bare minimum during the process, and now you're having bare minimum quotations. Because saying Augusta only supports popularity and not talent is a bare minimum quotation for the city, and I won't allow it. I'm not gonna allow it. I'm not gonna allow it because I'm somebody who I feel like I'm not the biggest person here, not the most popular person here, not popular at all. But I put a lot of dedication, time, and investment into my craft, into me, into what I believe in, and I get things done how I gotta get it done. And I get a good amount of support. Could I get more? Of course I think I can get more. But I'm 100 with me. I understand that everything I say and do isn't gonna cater to the demographic here. This a pot of Augusta is, so it's a funny pot, man. This is a retirement city. This is where people come to live a comfortable, peaceful life and raise their grandchildren or children. This is what Augusta is. It just so happens it's a lot of talented motherfuckers in Augusta. It's a lot of talent in Augusta. So that pot, sometimes it gets I don't expect the 67-year-old to really identify my podcast, even though they do. I got a weird demographic as well. And I love it. I'm cool with that. I have a 17-year-old, I can have a 27-year-old, a 37-year-old, 47, 57, 67, 77, all listening to the pod and all have different outlooks on what I'm talking about and feel what I'm saying differently or give me different feedback and critique. I like that. But I know my demographic because I'm dedicated. I take the time. I'm being dedicated to the craft. That's
Stop doing the bare minimum and expecting that to yield results.
I don't do the bare minimum. Every single aspect of why this could be considered to be successful starts and ends right here. And that's also another reason why I feel like that's a weak statement. It's a weak statement because it's most things that's gonna be successful. It starts and ends with you. I start the podcast off every time. I thank the supporters because without them, I don't have I may not have the drive. I don't know, but I may not have the drive. So I appreciate them for giving me that extra drive. But I got it anyway. But they give me the extra push to say you are doing it right. You are doing this great. You are doing a good job. You should continue. We like what you're doing. And then what happens is word of mouth. You get one follower. You get the second follower. That 2004, that 4008, that 8020, 2040, 4060, 1600. And now you got a little following going on, you know? Then consistency. Oh my God. Don't be consistent. Don't be consistent. Consistency would get you more in a short time frame than you would ever think. You ever think people will support you just based off, damn, I keep seeing this motherfucker. Let me go check and see what it's about. And if you're consistent and you're real dedicated to what you're doing, but regardless of what it is, I don't care what it is. If your demographic calls for it and there's a lane for that, people like that, or you can win that person over, you're probably gonna win that person over. What you're not gonna do is you're not gonna win a person over by looking at the next person and saying, well, you know what? We doing the same thing, but they getting more love. But I think because they popular. Because that ain't no stat for that. It's no stats for that. It's no way you can look up anything and say, okay, well, that person is outdoing me in support, or people are supporting that person and not me, only because that person is popular. You can't prove it. So I need niggas to be quiet about saying that, because that is weak and that's corny to me.
Didn't do the work yet.
I'm gonna say that for later. Okay. I had somebody before, we had a conversation, which was a great conversation, by the way. Real good conversation. And I think that was probably one of the conversations where somebody saying that statement, they probably had they probably had the best amount of supporting thoughts or opinions with what they said to make me say, okay, you know what, if you believe that, I rock with you on that. We're in the podcast game. I'm in a podcast game, sorry. So a rapper, which rappers are doing it now, but I'll use Quad, for example. Quad is I know him as Preach, Quad. I'm not sure what he's going by these days, but shout out to my guy, Jaquad. Dope individual. Real popular individual. A very, very popular person. Drop a picture, might get 300 likes. Well known in the city. You know what I'm saying? Known for just his thoughts, really, and just being a cool, fly dude from, the Glen Hills area and stuff like that. So shout out to him. He decided to start a podcast. I'm always gonna supported him. I liked what he had to do. I like what he got done. He stopped after a while. I don't know if he's stopping for sure or for good, if he got things going on. I don't know, but he's not doing it right now. But what I do want to say, what I noticed from talking to him, the little time I did talk to him, he realized that it takes a lot of work to do this thing. You can't just go behind a microphone and start talking and then you'll get support. Granted, someone will see him start a podcast, see the support he did get, and think, damn, he got a lot of support. Maybe because he's popular. Let's go look at what Maine is doing or what Slim is doing. And you might see that we got maybe close to the same amount of subscribers, that and third. Me and Slim are doing it longer, and you might think, wow, he's about to surpass them because he's popular. No respect to Shaquille, that's my guy. Never felt threatened about him surpassing or doing anything, whether it be, catapult me or not. I never cared about that. Never thought about it. You know the reason why? I'm consistent, I'm dedicated, and my race is my race. I wasn't thinking about anything he was doing. I just supported it. Did his platform, watched his other videos, gave him feedback when he needed it. At the end of the day, how I see it, I'm gonna run my race all the time. I'm always gonna be confident in what I'm doing. There's not a person out here that's gonna make me unconfident or not. I'm sorry, I said unconfident. Make me not confident in what I'm doing. So, yeah, he had a great amount of support. Yeah, he's popular. Did he get supported because he was popular? Initially, probably so. But I guarantee if you ask him, he probably feel like he should have got more support. And that's my problem with the saying. You're looking at somebody else's support and what they're getting, and you're comparing it to yourself and what you're not getting. And even looking at it that way, so I take Quan for example as, okay, he put out 6, 7, 5, 10 episodes. They got a lot of views. This, that, and third. But it was new. It's new. Do I think he got better and better each episode? I don't think he gave himself time to, because how he shot it, how he did it. It was never a growth thing. Once again,
Didn't do the work yet.
you got to put the work in. Not saying he didn't do his work, because we spoke and I know what he was doing. But a lot of people will see these things and be like, oh man, he got this because he's popular. No, he didn't. I don't know if he looked as a failure or a success, but what I can tell you is him being popular didn't help him at all. Didn't help him at all. I don't think. So when you say Augusta supports popularity, not talent, that's a damn lie. Because in that comparison, I would be the talent, that would be the popularity, and I get a massive amount of support. A massive amount of support. People are scared to do work. They're scared to go above and beyond. They're scared to invest in themselves. They're scared to dedicate time aside to be better at what they're doing. They're scared to better themselves. And that be the main thing. When people popular and they do decide to go into an entity or some new rebranding or some new endeavor, that take a lot, because you know what? On the flip side of being popular, on the flip side of being popular, it's a lot of people that know you and you don't know why they know you. So people know you because, one, they like you or whatever. It's cool. You're a likable person. 2, they can't stand your guts. They don't like you. 3, they want to see you succeed. 4, they want to see you fail. It's a massive amount of people that like to see popular people fail. That's a weak mindset, but it's a thing. And anybody gonna tell me different? That's a thing. So with that being said, I think people prey on their downfall sometimes with people that are popular and they get support, because naturally they didn't want to see you win anyway. That's just my opinion, though. I don't know, right? I want to read a comment. I want to read a post that I shared by my favorite doe, hashtag favorite doe, Donald Doe, by the way. Shout out to him. We'll support him. He's on the podcast. When I put the work in, I did some episodes with him. Let me find this real quick, man. I'm sorry, I should have had this pulled up. Okay. It says, you don't have a support issue. You have a commitment issue. People will support you once they realize you are committed. Hashtag free game. Donald Doe. Hashtag favorite doe. Boy, that was gospel. I'm going to read it one more time.
Didn't do the work yet. Stop doing the bare minimum and expecting that to yield results.
Come on. Stop it. He said, you don't have a support issue. You don't have a support issue.
Stop doing the bare minimum.
You don't have a support issue. You have a commitment issue.
Didn't do the work yet.
You have a commitment issue.
Didn't do the work yet.
People will support you once they realize you are committed.
Stop doing the bare minimum and expecting that to yield results.
It's not going to yield results. People will support you once they realize you are committed. You got to be committed. You got to be dedicated. You got to be willing to invest in yourself. People don't support you because you don't support you. That's what it is. It's not because you're not popular. It's not because you don't have talent. You can have talent. If you're not committed to what you're doing, if you're not dedicated to what you're doing, if you're not willing to show that what you're doing is worth supporting, why would anybody want to support you? If you walk around here talking and saying, well, it's hard to start because people don't really want to support. Yo, you sound like get the fuck away from me. You sound like a loser. That's contagious. Sound like a loser is. I'm telling you right now, I'm getting mad just thinking about it. I swear to God, I don't like talk like that. Do not talk like that around me ever, because I don't want that to touch me at all. I'd rather somebody sneeze on me. I'm just joking. Don't sneeze on me either, because I'm liable to hit you. But I would rather somebody sneeze on me than walk around me or being around me talking that kind of talk. That is loser talk. I do not like loser talk. I don't mind losing if I just lose fair and square, but loser talk, like putting that in my in the what's the word that I'm using? The atmosphere, putting that in my hemisphere. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're not gonna talk like that. No. People gonna support what's good. They're gonna support what they like and what's funny, and they're gonna support good content. So I look at me, started in 2016, doing only audio. Okay? Did only audio. As time went on, I tried different things. I experimented different things. Even to this day, last week I might have put a video two out where I got maybe 1 or 2 likes on the video. I thought it was great content. I said, all right, cool. They not really rocking with this. I'm going to try something different. And also, sometimes it's not even about them not rocking with it. I might have posted it too late, 10 o'clock, late night snack. Every piece of content ain't late night snack content. I had to learn that. I have to control my own algorithm. I don't have no stat logistics team doing it for me. So I trial and fail. I don't sit here and be like, damn, they ain't messing with that. It must become not popular. No, they don't like it. It's fine. They didn't like it, or they didn't really care. I didn't title it right. Maybe it's the wrong guess. Maybe they don't care about the title of the podcast or the little snippet I'm putting out. Who knows? It don't matter. You try and fail. You do it again, and you keep pushing. That's another thing. Get my list right. You look at, I'll take somebody playing basketball. You think people start making shots when they start playing ball? No. They take millions. When you say a million, I think people look at it as like it's a nice word. You know how much a million is? People take millions of shots to become a good shooter. You don't just wake up trying to become a good shooter, or you're gonna say, "Hey, man, the ball going in because he's popular." It don't work that way. The ball don't go in the basketball goal because somebody popular. It goes in because somebody was committed, somebody was dedicated, and they invested time putting the work in on their jump shot, on snapping their wrist, the mechanics of a jump shot, shooting with their fingertips, pointing their elbow. It's mechanics to a lot of these things. Anything, arts, whatever. When you even thinking about Augusta, even getting support in Augusta, it's a mechanics thing. I seen another post. Read the other post real quick, matter of fact, while I got y'all here. Read the other post real quick. I shared this the other day. Curtis Proctor. Curtis is a funny guy. I don't know what he's going through, but he's a funny guy. Shout out to him. He had a podcast, so I don't know if he still doing it or not, but he probably needs to do it because he's talking a lot on here. It says, I remembered I was offered a position from a principal in Augusta. They called me back and told me a specific person in HR told them not to hire me, but instead hire this other dude that was a nephew of a former superintendent. Don't know how true it is, but whatever. Somebody commented on there and said, this ain't Augusta. This is literally who you know. Okay? I agree with some of that. I think in the world, it's politics in the world with everything. Politics ain't nothing but who you know, what you know, who gets what, and why, where, all that stuff. Cool. A lot of politics in that. All right? We got to stop making everything negative an Augusta thing, because it's not. The negative things that y'all think or y'all create in y'all mind, these negative, whether it's connotations, negative thoughts, negative environments that y'all create and put Augusta in front of it, happens everywhere. I hate to break it to you. It's not an Augusta thing. It didn't originate here, it didn't start here, it ain't gonna finish here, it ain't gonna end here. It's going on everywhere around the world. It's an American thing. It's a United States thing. It's a New York thing, a Georgia thing, a Florida thing, a California thing. All right, they probably do this shit in North and South Dakota, and I ain't never been there. Nor do I want to go. Okay, we got to stop that narrative, man. That's a nasty narrative. Augusta only supports popularity, not talent. It's a slap in the face to people like me, or people, talented people who've been putting work in for years and years. That's people see finished products and think they know every fucking thing. I don't want to curse. I don't like even cursing, but it's like it bothers me because it's 2023. I've been doing podcasts this month, April. This month makes 7 full years for me doing this type of stuff. I remember my first episode. I did my brother. We did it 3 times. We did one in my grandma. God bless my grandmother. We did one in my room that we stayed in. 4 of us lived in that room. We did one in that room in 2016. We did it there, middle of the day, about 1 o'clock. I liked it. I didn't think it was enough. I said, I can't put this out. Might have been good. Might have been enough. My first episode. I didn't think it was enough. Did the second one in LA. And I'm sorry, in California. Berkeley, California, in this nice hotel. Did it there. I didn't think it was enough. Did a third one on an airplane coming back. I didn't think it was enough. Did a fourth one on a phone. I finally put it out. Faced my fears. Boom. Everybody loved it, right? You don't just do that out of nowhere. That comes from being dedicated, being committed, wanting to put some good stuff out. I didn't succumb to it ain't gonna work, man. This ain't gonna be like Joe Buttons. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna be like Tax Stone Podcast. Yeah, I'm not them. Had to learn that quickly. You know, like, okay, well, you got to try to do the best you can do in your realm, in your budget. We talk about popularity. Your budget ain't that person's budget. You know, your reach ain't that person's reach. So yeah, you might say this person got support because he's popular. All right, well, how else can you outdo the person? You're not as popular as such and such. What can you do to still be successful at what you need to do? All right, you got the answers. That's another thing that pissed me off about this. Y'all be so smart. Y'all have the answers. People already have the answers. If you really feel wholeheartedly that, you know, Augusta supports popularity and not talent, and you think that's the answer, get popular. If that's the answer, if it's that easy, get popular. And then get back to me.
Stop doing the bare minimum and expecting that to yield results.
That's a bare minimum thought. You know what? If I get popular, then I'll get support. No, support is a long ball thing. You got to be consistent for a long time. That's another thing. I used to have this problem with somebody I used to deal with, right? And I had to look up what the word patient meant. And I remember she kept saying, I'm being patient. So one day I looked it up and I said, damn, she not. Because if you being patient, you wouldn't be asking me every day about this, about that, about the same thing every day. You being patient would be you sitting back, chilling, and waiting, you know, patiently. You know what I'm saying? You ask me every day, ain't you being patient? It's you annoying me. I say that to say, when you being consistent, it's not gonna happen overnight. It takes patience. You got to just continue to be consistent regardless of whatever results you're getting. All right? But the results you're getting should push you into how much more consistent you need to be, how much more out there you need to be, how much more you need to post, how much more outgoing you got to do. You got to do more networking, politicking. If we already had the answers to getting support, the answers to maneuvering through this arts world, trying to make it out, if we got the answers to all these things, why are we struggling? Why are we making excuses for ourselves and our peers and others? Why are we not stepping outside our comfort zone? Why are we not saying, Maybe it's not that I'm not popular, but
Stop doing the bare minimum and expecting that to yield results.
maybe I just need to stop doing the bare minimum. Maybe I need to exceed not only my expectations, but the expectations of those around me. Why is that not the thought process? Why is the thought process only this person is only getting this amount of support because of this? Why are we overlooking all the other statistics, all the other things that attribute to somebody getting, gaining, earning, fighting for whatever support they do have? Why we have to create a narrative that helps us sleep at night? When I say us, I mean the losers, not me. Helps them sleep at night because they couldn't overcome their own insecurity, because they couldn't be successful in what they wanted to be successful at in their mind. Everybody measures success differently. I can tell you right now, I'm probably not making the amount of money I would like to make off podcasting at this very moment. But I found other ways to where I can invest in myself to brand myself a certain way, to garner respect of my peers, to stay consistent, to be able to create new content. I'm committed. I'm dedicated. I invest time, money, thoughts, hours, days, nights, minutes. I invest. I'm dedicated. I commit to bettering my craft. I don't just chalk it up to, oh, well, it's Augusta. I don't plan to know. It's Augusta, and I plan to take it over. That's it. That you know how they say, you have the sports shows, and they talk about the Lakers or these championship contending teams, and they say, oh, it's title or bust. Some of us have a mentality like that. Some of us have a winner's mentality where it's like, for me, I'm not gonna say title or bust, 'cause I don't know what that would mean in this world, but I would say it's progression or bust for me. I want to progress every year. I want to move up every year and everything. I want to talk better. I want to be able to capture my audience better. I want to have better quality. I want to have better audio quality, visual quality. I want to do better at sponsoring. Shout out to, my guys over, I got Rocket Slim. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? This is his sweater, Shop Block. The episode is out right now on opinionated as fuck. And the F word is FUQ. That's out right now as we speak. It's premiering now. I did the episode a couple weeks ago. Then the other one gonna drop on Wednesday at 7. Go check him out. All right. I want to get better at branding. I want to get better at that. I want to be able to wear everybody's clothes every time. I'm tired of wearing the other designer clothes. I want to wear Augusta clothes. But you know what happens? You know why I can't have a closet, and I do have a closet full of Augusta clothes, by the way. I have a closet full in my studio where I just pick, whether it's Widow Collection. I ain't gonna get into all that, And y'all know who I support, cause y'all watch the shows. Y'all watch them. I got the shirts on, the sweaters on. I wear it. I support. But you know why a person may not have a closet full of Augusta clothing? Because it's somebody somewhere that got the materials to make a bunch of clothes, don't have to drive to make the clothes. Got the talent to make clothes, design clothes, don't got the attitude, the drive to go out and support themselves. They want to get support, but they can't support themselves. Supporting yourself meaning making that post, hitting people up, saying, I got this, it costs this much, what you think you can do, putting yourself out there. When I first started podcasting, you know what I would do? I would put my link out there, and I would have to, it sounds so ghetto now, I'm sorry. And I'm not saying I'm above that, 'cause I would do it again if I have to, but I would have to tag people. I never tagged 99 people and others. Never did that. Was my thing. I find that super annoying. But I would tag my 6 or 7 supporters that I had at the time so that they can share it. And hopefully that 6 or 7 can turn to 9, 12, something like that. And then I would do it again. Then I would do it again. And I would change it up. Use these 3, use them 3, use them 3. And you kind of get it up. And then the guest you have on, I would say, this guest is pretty popular. Mind you, if my mindset, if your mindset is, hey, if you popular, they support you, let me get a pop person on. You know what they told me? Oh, we don't like that one. We don't like that one. Get somebody else. Get somebody else to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't do the work yet.
I just do the work. That's me doing the work. So what I did was, okay, cool. I throw a mixture in. I'll do some ball players that's real popular. I'll talk to this person that's known. I'll talk to that person that's not known but got a great story. Put the most compelling part of that story together. Put it out. People love that.
Stop doing the bare minimum.
I don't do the bare minimum. I saw this through. I'm thinking of it. Most time when I have a guest on, we think I just met him Sunday. I might have just met him Sunday, but I've been looking at this guest for years. Most of these guests you see, I got notes in my phone for people I don't even know. When they finally do come on, we're gonna talk. Let's take a walk through 2017 when you was posting this. What this meant when you did this? What this meant when you said that? I put the work. I mean, to see it saying like that, it's always gonna bother me. Even if it's not about me. When it's in art, it's always gonna bother me because there's so much work that behind the scenes that people don't see. If you know me, then it's different. If you don't know me, you don't know that, I'm somebody that works 60 hours a week somewhere else that has nothing to do with arts at all. 60 hours. And my name is getting called, about 59 of them. Getting calls from other locations, all that stuff, I'm heavily relied on for 60 hours a week. Got 2 girls. Heavy relied on. All day, 24/7, right? When I come here, I might not make no material. I might just be brainstorming. I might just sit up here and talk, and sometimes I put it out, sometimes I won't. I might get my daughters to come up here, we do some stuff. Trial and fail. You know what?
Didn't do the work yet.
I'm doing the work. Doing the work. What I'm not doing.
Stop doing the bare minimum.
I'm not doing the bare minimum. Always go above and beyond. Always trying to exceed my own expectations. If you exceed your own expectations, and I hope you think highly of yourself. Hopefully you think higher of yourself than others think of you. But if you exceed your own expectations, you'd be amazing. If you exceed your own expectations, you'll be amazed at the things you can accomplish. When you say things like, insert city, I don't care, it doesn't have to be Augusta, whatever. Insert whatever, whoever supports popularity, not talent. You sound like a loser. I don't know if I would even want to look into anything somebody got going on if they telling me that. But it's a mindset. I get it. Because sometimes people have that mindset because they only know one area. They only know one thing. They never made it out. They never been outside their city. They never been outside their 50-mile radius. So they got a 50-mile radius mindset. I get that. I can't relate.
Didn't do the work yet.
I can't relate. My mindset is a little different. I know that it's a small city. I know that there's some limited resources here. But I also know that within this small city is a heavy arts community. And within that heavy arts community, there's an unlimited amount of resources there. About perspective, about how you view things, about who you know. That is true. So I'm not mad at somebody saying that, this has happened because it's popular. But when you say it with conviction that somebody didn't put their own work in, didn't do their own due diligence, didn't grind it out, didn't start from the bottom, always been popular, just always had a fan base, didn't have to win people over, didn't have to gain a following 1 by 1, by 10, by 2, by 12, like we just woke up one day and just had everything. Here, we support you. We don't know what you're going to do, but we all know you. We want you to succeed. Please do great. That's not realistic. That don't happen. That's not how it goes. Living proof of that. Don't care who you are. You actually probably got it worse if you are popular, because people they're gonna want to see you fail. That's just life. Not a Augusta thing. Not a Georgia thing. It's not a Southern thing. It's not an East Coast thing. It's not a West Coast thing. It's a life thing. It's a human thing. When people say things like that, Augusta supports popularity, not talent. All I hear is, I'm not talented. All I hear is,
Didn't do the work yet.
all I hear is somebody doing
Stop doing the bare minimum
and expecting.
and expecting that to yield results.
That's all I hear. That's all I see. It's like the person's a blur to me, and I just see a loser. And I'm not saying it in a negative way. It's not positive, but I don't mean it no harm when I say it. But that's just a loser's mentality. Oh man, coach, we never beat them. They're too big. You ain't went out there yet on the floor. I don't know. I want to do this, but I don't know, man. Got to be supporting popular people. They don't support talent. Well, who you know that's talented that didn't get supported? Name me 5 people you know that's talented that aren't getting supported. And if somebody out there that's really going to try to look for 5 people, right? The fact you got to go look for it is number one. It debunks your theory. But let's say you do go find 5 people. Now tell me, what are they doing to make sure I get their support? I done cashed that people for clothes and stuff like that I ain't even get back. I don't take it as a loss. I'm going to get mine. Trust me. I'm going to get mine. Trust me. I'm 100% going to get mine. But I ain't think it's a loss. Supporting. I support. I just did 2 podcasts recently, a couple weeks ago. It's coming out this week. They not popular. They just starting out. But I respect the grind. I respect the hustle. I respect them wanting to have the information. I respect the approach to that particular world, that arts that I like so much, that I dedicate so much of my time to. I appreciated that. So I said, let me go ahead and, bless their podcast, which I would do with anybody if you're approaching that right. When you say Augusta supports popularity, not talent, I want you to really go do your research, really go do your due diligence and ask yourself a few questions, what have you done to really prove that theory, that statement, that theory, that thought, that opinion to be true? What have you really done? What else can you do besides being popular to get support? Because if you think that you have to be popular to get support, you're a loser. What's stopping you from succeeding with the support you do get? Let's say you get 5 people to support you. What you gonna do with them 5 people? I can tell you right now, if you got 5 supporters and you're not being consistent, you're not putting your all into whatever you're doing, you're not committed, you're not dedicated, you're not investing time, you're not investing into those 5 supporters you got, why the hell would you need 95 more supporters? Why would you need more supporters? Perspective, man. Don't be a loser. I'm just thinking out loud. Oh, boy. I hate that saying. I'm not going to lie, man. That really pisses me off because I put a lot of work. I invest a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of mess ups, a lot of hours wasted. Ain't no hours wasted, though. It's perspective. One Masters Podcast, we out.